A woman would go to her husband's grave every day to pray. After finishing her prayer, she would turn around and show her back. One day, the imam saw this and couldn't resist asking, "Why do you show your backside after finishing your prayers?" The woman replied, "The deceased used to say, 'You have such a nice,' but that it could even bring the dead back to life. Mine is just a glimmer of hope." One day, Albert Einstein leaves a large assembly and sets off with his driver. On the way, his driver says to him, "I know what you said. The reason for this is that the driver often attends Einstein's assemblies." Upon hearing this, Albert Einstein says, "Is that so? Then let's try it and see how you do it." At that moment, they were on their way to another meeting in a different village. The driver switched places with Einstein and entered the meeting in Einstein's place. After saying a few scientific words, he also answered questions. Finally, a professor asks a very difficult question. When the driver couldn't find an answer, he said, "What a simple question. Even my driver knows the answer to that. Go ask him." Upon this, the real Albert Einstein respectfully answered the question for the crowd. Thus, the driver saved himself at the last moment. One day, a little girl grew up, and it was time for her to go to school. On her way to school, the girl met a few boys. The boys said to her, "Come on, pick a leaf from that tree and get it to us, and we'll give you $5. The girl agreed, picked the leaf, gave it to them, and took the $5. She returned home happily and told her mother, "Mom, look, I earned $5. Her mother was surprised and asked, "What's this, my daughter? Where did you get that money?" The girl explained what had happened. Hearing this, her mother got angry and scolded her. "My daughter, don't ever do such a thing again. No one gives you money for nothing." They wanted to look up your skirt, at your underwear, she said. The next day, the girl brought money home again in the same way. Her mother got even angrier. "Didn't I tell you not to do it? It's shameful. They want to look under your skirt at your underwear." The girl smiled slightly and said, "Mom, don't be angry with me. This time I took off my underwear. They couldn't see anything."
One day, a young man comes to the doctor and says, "Doctor, I want to live forever." The doctor replies, "It's very simple." The man is surprised and asks, "How so?" The doctor tells him, "Get married." The man asks again, "Will I live forever if I get married?" The doctor smiles and says, "No, your desire will disappear."
One day, a woman had to pass through a village she had never been to before. While on her way, she saw a large cemetery and froze in amazement. The cemetery was filled with various tools. As the woman walked a little further, she saw a group of men digging a grave. To satisfy her curiosity, she went over to them. Just then, the men finished their work and started to return. As the woman walked behind them, she saw a shovel on the road and called out, "Guys, you left your shovel here." One of the men turned back and said to her, "We didn't forget the shovel. It's our custom. For example, when a teacher dies, we put a book on their grave. When a barber dies, we put scissors. This deceased person was a gardener, so we put a shovel on his grave." Hearing this, the woman froze, began to think deeply, and said to herself, "I wonder what they'll put on my grave when I die." It turned out the woman was a urologist. Little Khan asked his father, "Dad, what is politics?" His father smiled and said, "Look, son, think of it this way. I provide for this household, so I am capitalism. Your mother manages the money, so she is the government. We provide for your needs, so you are the people. Your nanny is the working class, and your little brother is the future." Khan was confused, but said, "Okay, Dad, I'll think about it." That night, while everyone was asleep, his little brother started crying. Khan got up to check and saw that the baby had soiled himself. He went to his mother's room, but she was fast asleep. Then he went to the nanny's room, but the door was locked. Looking through the keyhole, he saw his father with the nanny. The next morning at breakfast, Khan said, "Dad, now I've seen and understood what politics is." His father smiled. "Tell me, son, what is politics?" Khan replied, "Capitalism exploits the working class. The government is asleep. The people are ignored, and the future is shit."